I want to give you a bit of an overview of what we've seen from organizations and the benefits that they've enjoyed by objectives and key results. Now, just to loop back for a second, OKRs, objectives and key results, are not something new. They're in fashion now because they suit the cadence of the current business situations that we're in, the need for agile management, and obviously the evidence of Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, those organizations using them successfully, as well as our clients like Nike and Boeing. Now, OKRs root all the way back to the 1950s and 60s when Peter Drucker began exploring how do we better monitor and manage knowledge workers as differentiated from manufacturing or industrial era workers, or even before that, agricultural workers. And that concept that he came up with, MBOs, or management by objectives, we modified at Harvard when I was doing the research on the balanced scorecard with Drs. Kaplan and Norton. And back then, in the early 90s, we had a slightly faster cadence of business than we had in the 60s, but really not much more information, not much more computing power. Now, 30 years later, we've got way more data. We literally have information on customers moment to moment. We have way more computing power. We can run businesses literally on our cell phone. And we have much more need for agility. You know, the uncertainty that we used to have out 5 years, we now have out 1 year. That means my 5-year plan is now my 1-year plan. It means my 1-year plan is now my 1-quarter plan. And OKRs fit into that. They also allow us to drill down. You know, our work at Harvard on the balanced scorecard was measuring at the departmental level. Well, we now need to measure down to the team level, the individual level. We need to get rid of those organizational silos, be able to see how we create value across the organization, have shared objectives and shared key results. So OKRs have been hugely valuable in progressing how we manage businesses. And as a result of that, they give a whole bunch of benefits to organizations. Now, I'm going to give you a list of about 8 benefits, but your organization is not going to enjoy all 8. You're going to enjoy some of them and not others. But I want to give you the long list. And I'd like you to sort of check off in your mind which ones you see benefits from in your organization. So, in no particular order, thing number 1 is they help organizations focus towards one common goal. So let's make sure that we're all pursuing the same goal, whether that is getting new customers, getting new products, entering new markets. We need that alignment. Secondly, it creates a winning mindset. That focus allows us to see specifically that we're getting progress and see how we're working as a team towards that. So it creates a culture, a winning mindset, which is super important. Now, that only works if we have transparency. It's like playing football, right? The forwards need to see what midfield is doing. They need to know what midfield is supposed to do and how well they're doing their job so that forwards can decide how they can best do their job. Same inside your organization. Everyone needs to know what the rest of the team is doing, supposed to do, and how they're actually doing it so I can decide what my team needs to do. So that transparency and collaboration is promoted just like within a team. Because of that, the next benefit is it allows us to align the business. We now have that common goal. We've got the transparency. We've got the winning mindset. Now we're all aligned and working in that same direction. And that becomes very powerful for the individual and for the organization. In particular, next benefit is it drives discipline. Because we've got that alignment and we've got that transparency, I can focus and get disciplined on what it is I need to do, and avoid the distractions of things that take me off strategy. Therefore, next benefit is that helps us achieve our goals, be they committed or stretch goals. That discipline and that linkage and that transparency helps me make sure that I achieve those goals. And you'd be surprised. Literally, we see a boost of about 20% in productivity just through that. More importantly, especially in this work from home environment, they allow us to measure our progress towards our goals. Now, that's super difficult for an employee who's working at home. It's even tough in the office. I mean, you know, you're in an accounting department. How do you know you've had a better day today than yesterday? Well, I should be able to keep score. I should be able to see I've done more invoicing, or I've dealt with more difficult multi-currency transactions or something. And I can see my own progress. I don't need my leader to show me that. I can see it for myself. So the next benefit is it allows us to have better conversations with our employees, right? Research says the most stressful meeting you have all year long is that one-on-one performance review with your boss. Well, what if it wasn't an annual thing? What if we had more frequent, less formal performance conversations? What if I actually knew how I was performing on my cell phone every single day? I don't even need to have a performance review. I can see how I'm doing and on an ongoing basis talk with my teammates and my boss about how I can perform better and what I need from them to help my performance. So that performance management becomes much easier. All of that results in us, next benefit, of having really better accountability and efficiency in our work, because I now understand my specific goals, how I'm going to get there, what my teammates are going to do to help me, how I can go ask for help. And so that accountability stuff just becomes clear. And so the final benefit I'll outline is, therefore, it gives you better clarity and direction. And clarity because I'm clear on what my goals are and the supports to get there. And direction because if management changes those objectives, I should know within a day or two that the organization's redirect itself. Last year, 2020, and COVID's a great example where that's important, because as COVID hits and suddenly we're in lockdown, I have different goals. Next month when I'm working from home, I've got different goals. The month after that, when we open up a bit, different goals. How is it we can be agile in our management teams? So OKRs enable those things to happen. Now, there's lots of research that we've done and you can look up about the overall benefits. For me, when I add up those 8 things, for our clients, there are 3 major metrics that we see huge progress. One is managerial use of time. We find that if you run OKRs and therefore run better meetings, have better alignment, all the things I just touched on, you as a manager will get back 48 minutes a week. In other words, you spend at least 48 minutes a week in wasted meetings or having conversations about things that were previously agreed to, or even being in meetings that didn't need to exist. So 48 minutes. Now, it's going to take you about 10 minutes to put your objectives and your analysis in once a week. So cost you 10 minutes, you get back 48. That's a great deal. And that's why these grow so quickly and radiate inside companies so rapidly. So that's what's in it for you. What's in it for the employees? Our research indicates about a 36% increase in employee satisfaction. What does that mean? It means not only employees happy, but you've got lower turnover, you've got lower absenteeism rates, you've got lower accident rates, and a whole bunch of other benefits that we talked about in those case studies earlier on. And then finally, for the organization. For the organization, we see, as I've mentioned, on average, a 20% boost in productivity. So if I measure inputs versus outputs, there's a 20% boost. And that works whether I'm a not-for-profit, a government organization, or a for-profit organization. Because now I don't measure performance in terms of dollars and cents. I may measure it in terms of strategy points earned, right? Your gain on your organization. So hopefully that gives you a quick overview of what OKRs are and the sort of benefits you can expect. We would be happy to come by and do an assessment in your organization and give you a feeling for what your specific benefits would be. But there's a litany of things that you can move towards. Thanks for your time. Hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now.